In the Fridays with Geraldo segment tonight, two hot topics. Michael Brown's mother under investigation in connection with armed robbery. But first, some provocative comments from our pal Geraldo Rivera. In the aftermath of the Democrats' drubbing, Geraldo tweeted this, quote, "Deserted by Latinos, blacks, and his feckless, lazy millennial supporters, President O got his blank kicked by millions of angry old white folk." That was a G-rated version of the tweet here now. Fox News senior correspondent Geraldo Rivera. Wow, Geraldo. Wow.
Well, you're an angry old white man.
I mean, why do you do that? Geraldo, I fill in for Bill once in a while, and a lot of times it's a Friday, and we have these Geraldo Friday segments, and my head starts to explode. You really, did you play the race card? I mean, you play in the aftermath of
Eric,
as the polls were closing, angry old white folks.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah.
All right. I was speaking demographically. I'll give you an example. Item. In 2012, voters 30 and under were 19% of the electorate. In 2014, they were 12%. Lazy, feckless millennials. In 2012, black people voted at a rate 10% higher than this time. Latinos voted at a rate 20% higher than this time. What happened? They stayed home. It wasn't so much policy. It wasn't voter suppression. It was lethargy. They stayed home and abandoned the man they supported.
That was the part of the tweet that, although somewhat provocative, wasn't as provocative as the last line, instead of the angry old white folk.
In 2012, the electorate was 72% white. This time it was 75%.
Where's the anger part come in?
75%.
Just tell me about the
because they were
part.
angry at President Obama's policies. They were angry at President. Oh, do you deny that?
Well, no, I don't deny that. But
so
as long as you say President Obama's policies, but you infer race here, and you infer they're angry at President Obama, possibly because he was black.
There is a definite racial component to the way Americans vote. We have to get over. We have to be mature enough to recognize.
I don't know. Mia Love won resoundingly in Utah as a congresswoman in a very, very predominantly white district.
And Tim Scott in South Carolina. And the NAACP refused to recognize the achievements.
Well, let's take a look at your tweet from on the NAACP, the tweet that you put up regarding that. It says, why don't you read? It's your tweet.
The NAACP refuses to embrace the success of Republican Senator Tim Scott and Representative-elect Mia Love because, though black, they are not victims.
So are you saying the NAACP only recognizes black victims?
I think that the NAACP's basic boilerplate approach to life is, woe is us, we are victims, and I think black activists or politicians who don't subscribe to that 1960s credo are people not embraced by the NAACP. I'm a lifetime member of the NAACP. And I say they have become ineffective, they have become irrelevant because they can't get over the fact that the problems assailing the minority community today are not that we are being oppressed by the man. It is that there's a failure of family responsibility, a failure of personal responsibility, but pick yourself up by your bootstraps. I think the world has changed and the NAACP has not.